What's up, y'all? I'm Sarah, and today I have for you a horror movie review. So I don't know if you've seen the new It trailer, the remake trailer, but I saw it and I was like, wow, that looks really good, you know? And I thought to myself, why have I never seen the original? I love horror movies, actually. I watch them all the time. You know, this movie is kind of an urban legend. You know, lots of kids are scared of clowns, and even some of my friends are scared of clowns. And, you know, I never thought to watch this movie. I don't know why. So I thought to myself, why don't I watch it? This came out in 1990, and I was only 2 years old, so obviously too young to watch it. It was a 3-hour miniseries on TV, and then it became a video you could rent. Even whenever I used to go to Blockbuster a lot, I wasn't interested in it. So I have seen some clips from it, but I've never seen the whole thing. Okay, I want to note that I've not read the book. I know it's a really long Stephen King book that's really good, and I'm sure it is, but I haven't read it. So I've heard a little bit about the differences, but very, very little. So know that going in. If you want to, you can totally comment, you know, what's different from the movie, you know, but I have no idea. Alright, so how this movie starts is there's a series of flashbacks, and you get this guy, Mike the librarian. He sees that there's some murders going on, and you're like, he's wondering, is it back, you know? And he calls his old school friend Bill, and as soon as Bill gets that call, he totally changes. And you know, this is what happens with each of the characters whenever they get the call. I know some people are like, oh, that's too overly dramatic and silly, but I kind of liked it because it showed each character, like, their fear, their memories flooding back, their realization, and also some quirks that they used to have as kids that were coming back. Like Bill, he was a stutterer, and whenever he got the call, he immediately started stuttering again. And I definitely can relate to him because I stuttered a lot as a kid, and still do now occasionally. So that was interesting. And I liked how they set the mood too, with like the rain and, you know, the whole thing. So he gets the call and he immediately like is ready to leave. And they show each character. You know, you have Bill, then you have Ben, which is a successful architect, and he's partying it up, you know, with his lady, and he gets the call, and immediately he changes. He gets scared. He like just doesn't care about the chick anymore. Starts packing straight away. So you're like, wow, this thing's intense, you know. There's a lot of stuff that you like want to know, and I also found that the first act of the film, when all this is happening, plus all the flashbacks of them as kids, was one of the best parts of the whole movie. So I really liked the group of kids, the group of kid actors. They were really, really good.
I want to kill it. Help me. Please, help me. Help me.
I thought the actor that played Bill as a young kid was good. Seth Green was good, and some of the other ones are really good too. Definitely better than the adult actors. So in the flashback with Bill, you see that he's sick and his younger brother wants to play, but he is not up to it, so he builds them the paper boat, and the famous Georgie scene happens. And even before this happens, actually, there's a little clip of Pennywise in the laundry outside, and it's pretty scary. So, you know, the Georgie scene is famous, and you know, he has his paper boat go down the drain, and there it is. There's Pennywise, and he's pretty scary. Okay, so the next character you have is Beverly, and she's just, you know, a young schoolgirl, and She's cute with her little, you know, pigtails and stuff. And she has a dad that's kind of a drunk and abusive and lives on the other side of the tracks or whatever. And she's really struggling with stuff at home. So whenever she meets up with the boys, you know, it's really like good for her to make friends and all that kind of stuff. She definitely is a supportive member of the group, and she's the one that has the slingshot, so she's the one that was able to be the best shot. And I thought it was interesting how they never said, oh, girls can't do that, blah blah blah. They're just like, okay, you're the best, you go do it. You know, that was pretty cool. Also, her character as an adult, she's, you know, I think a fashion designer, but it's a shame that she's in another abusive relationship with her boyfriend, and you know, she comes to realize, like, why is she letting herself go through this. So that was pretty interesting. Obviously that we have the character Mike, which is the African American librarian that's at the very beginning of the movie. He's the one that does the majority of the calls to call people and tell them, you know, it's back and everything. And he was an interesting character. I thought it was cool how he recorded everything. He wrote everything down to where he didn't forget anything. And he, even whenever they showed him as a little kid, he had this history book, you know, and he was really interested in history and stuff. And he actually told everybody the story of Pennywise. Well, I wish that he could have been introduced to the group of kids earlier, you know, like whenever they were first forming, if they would all first, you know, come at the same time. But I'm so glad he was able to become part of the group. Next we have Richie. He's like the goofball comedian type. And Seth Green plays the kid. And I love Seth Green from, you know, Buffy and Austin Powers and like all of his voice acting. So it was cool to see him as, you know, 10, 12-year-old playing this role. That was pretty cool. I liked his adult character as well. He became a real comedian. And he was able to, you know, crack the tension in the group and make everybody not as scared by his jokes, you know. So he definitely had an important role there. Next up we have Stan, which is Richie's best friend. And we know that he's Jewish and he's in the Boy Scouts. And he definitely is a patriot, and whenever they're in that bad situation, he's like, for God and country, you know. He really believes in the motto of the Boy Scouts, and I just gave him comfort, you know. I really do not understand his character when he was an adult, and what happened to him whenever he committed suicide. I was really surprised because every one of the other kids had heard the same news, and they were shocked and they were like upset and everything, but they didn't go that far, you know. And I didn't understand why he did it. And you know, the theory was that he's the one that looked into the deadlights the most and was affected the most by it. But I still thought it was kind of extreme. So I think he could have been a cool character to have as an adult when they were fighting it the second time. But of course he was not there, unfortunately. Next up we have Eddie, which is the small kid with asthma. And he kind of has an overbearing mother and everything, but he really is excited to be part of a group of friends. And you can tell he's very loyal, he's really dedicated to the group and everything. And it's him, whenever they fight it the first time, that, you know, sprays his asthma spray at him and is very brave in fighting him. So I did like his character, although as an adult it's harder to like him because he, you know, is kind of a mama's boy, doesn't stand up for himself, and has a lot of issues. But, you know, people like that are real, so that's just how he was. And I'll get more onto the end and what happened to him later. The next kid is Henry Bowers, the bully, and he has his, you know, little gang or whatever. And this kid is intense. Like, he is not only a bully, like he makes fun of kids, maybe pushes them around or whatever. He like has a knife and like he could kill people. So it's really interesting to see how it, you know, uses him, and how his whole life was totally changed by this whole thing that happened. And it would be cool to see like what would have happened if the it thing wasn't there? Would have he have actually killed somebody or not? You know? Okay, so of course there's Pennywise, played by Tim Curry. And he is a great actor. He was in Rocky Horror Picture Show and some of the Home Alone movies and others. And, you know, I think he played a good line between being funny and scary. And there were a lot of parts that I found super funny. Like the part where they're in the library and, you know, Richie sees him when he's an adult. And he's just making jokes and being hilarious and throwing balloons and stuff, and, you know, I just think it's hilarious.
What's the matter? One balloon, not enough. Try on, please! Do you have Prince Albert in a can? You do? Well, you better let the poor guy out.
But of course it's menacing because, you know, no one else can see him, and the balloons are full of blood. But still, I didn't find that scary. But of course, you know, when he has the teeth and he like comes at you and stuff like that, and whenever you hear just his voice, I think that's very scary as well. Like in the sink, in the shower, and, you know, before he pops up. So that's kind of interesting. It's, you know, kind of similar to Freddy Krueger in that he makes his one-liners and, like, you know, kills people. And I think that that kind of villain is always fun to watch. So not only are they scary, but they're also funny and entertaining. Okay, so what did I like about this movie? Well, I liked how all the kids like really got together and they became really close friends, and they were able to, you know, fight this thing together. That I liked the nostalgia factor with them riding the bikes and all that kind of stuff. It's sort of, you know, looking at it from 2017 for the first time, I get reminded of Stranger Things and stuff like that. But of course, you know, this was before that. So, also, I liked all the scary parts, like the jump scares. And I liked, you know, whenever Pennywise showed up and he was like in the shower with Eddie, or he did the blood in the sink and everything. One of the scariest parts was whenever Bill went to his brother's room after he died and got the photo book, and he opened it and there was a picture of his brother. The brother winked at him and started talking in Pennywise's voice. I was like, woo! That was scary, you know? Because I had never seen that clip before, and some of the other scares I had seen before, a few of them, so it wasn't quite as scary, but I thought that was really scary. And another one of the scariest parts is whenever Beverly goes into the house with that old woman, and I sort of had a feeling something was going to happen, but I didn't know what, you know, and you know, it turns into her father, and then Pennywise. It was just really scary. Also, whenever Ben is kissing Beverly, at least he thinks so, and it turns into Pennywise. Oh my gosh, I'd be scarred for life, you guys. So, what did I not like about this movie? Well, in general, the third act of the movie. So, you know, I like the beginning with the kids getting together, the flashbacks and like the phone calls, and then them coming to the town, you know. But whenever they're all assembled, I think that it kind of loses some steam, you know. And there's definitely some awkward moments and stuff. I think that whenever they go to fight it for the second time, that it was really disappointing. And the way I always viewed it was, you know, Pennywise the Clown, he was a demon that, you know, preyed on children or whatever, souls and stuff. And although I thought maybe the clown was just one version of him, whenever they showed it as being like this crab spider thing, I thought that was really weird and I didn't like it at all. So, I'm sure, I know, I read sort of, there's an explanation in Stephen King's book universe that he's like an alien or something. I don't know, but I was disappointed. And if they would have gone and had some like ghost exorcism stuff, I would have been scared. But I was just like, eh, you know. And then of course the stop animation didn't really hold up, you know. So I didn't like that. Also, I didn't like how Eddie, he stopped everyone and he's like, I have to tell you guys something. I have never slept with anyone. And they're like, okay, you know? And of course, I think Eddie was maybe supposed to be gay. I don't know if they backed out of it or it was just, you know, hinted at. But obviously he said if he never slept with anyone, then, you know, that's kind of weird. Also, I have heard one thing from the book that I won't go into detail because it's like crazy, but with Beverly and all the boys and stuff, and he says, you know, Eddie says at the end, he says, I've never loved anybody else besides you guys, and I have to love someone before I sleep with them or whatever. And it was like, you know, it's weird. So I did not like that. And as well as at the end, whenever, you know, Eddie's trying to fight the spider crab thing, and he grabs him and drops him, it looked like to me, oh, he just broke his arm, or, you know, he just got knocked out or something, but he was dead. And I was like, like, that was not satisfying, or I didn't like it. So basically I did not like the ending. So, but I am glad that it was not spoiled for me. So I had no idea that that was coming. No clue at all. So there's that. Something else I wish they would have done is go more into the folklore of Pennywise. I know they did it a little bit when they had that picture book, you know, and he popped out of the picture book. But I think it would have been cool to have them like research it and, you know, get more into it and stuff. I know that that's kind of geeky of me, but I think that would have been cool. So, overall, I think the first 2 acts of the movie were pretty good. It still holds up as, like, pretty scary, but definitely not this epic, scary movie that, you know, I don't know if I expected that or not, but it wasn't super scary. And, you know, in general, I don't find clowns scary outright. I only find them scary if, like, they're covered in blood and they're trying to attack you or something. You know, that being said, though, I did watch Chucky as a kid, and dolls kind of scared me for a while, so, I mean, what can I say? Alright, so, I would have to give this movie a C+. And, that's just because the ending, I didn't like it at all. So, pretty solid movie. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any video suggestions, let me know. Alright, bye-bye for now.
Pogo, happy clown molester, paints his face, disguised the jester. Join the local large chapter, spawning evil ever after. He picks his prey up at the bar, gets him drunken in the car. Murder victim, slice and smile, serial killer, pedophile. Look into his empty eyes, you know it's your time to die. As he cuts you up in little bits, cuts you up in little bits, goes pop pop on your head again, spills your blood, now he's soaked in sin. Oh, God, you're gonna burn in hell.